I've added the JavaScript to this program, and what it does is it makes it scroll through images at the top, and you can go forward, you can go back. I left an alert statement in there helping myself figure out how it was working. I'll pull that out in a second. And if you click on any of these, it will change the caption and the title and the image. And it will work so that it will match whatever image you click on. Okay, let's take a look at how it works. I've got a bunch of CSS in here. You can take a look at this. It's going to be up on the web page. I do have to pull out my alert statement. Guess that wasn't my most current one. All right, let's take a look. I want to see if that alert statement's gone. Why am I getting that? Okay, when I hit on the back button, I'm still getting the alert. That calls a function, and the function is backward scroll or back scroll. Here's the function. Oops, that's where my alert is. I was testing it because it wasn't working right. Okay, so let's go through the JavaScript quickly. Some of you are programmers, some of you aren't. I declared a bunch of variables, 0, 1, 2, 3, representing these because it's really 0, 1, 2, and 3, because in programming you start counting at 0. If you added more, if you wanted more thumbnails across the top, you would need to add more variables here. Then I'm creating an image object in JavaScript for the thumbnails and an image object in JavaScript for the large image. Now this is the part, if you set it up the same way with 4 images, this is the part you'd change. These are my arrays. They're simply lists. I have a list of the small images, and each image address is separated by comma and is in quotes. I have the titles in quotes separated by commas. I have the captions in quotes separated by commas. You can make them as long as you'd like. So if I wanted to make something really long, I can do that. Then I have my large images with their locations, complete file name. If you're doing it in a subfolder, you'll have to put in the folder structure. If you leave it set up the way mine is, as far as the names of things, you don't have to change anything except for these items. If you don't want captions, get rid of them. If you don't want titles, get rid of them, but you'll have to get rid of them in more than one place. This preload function just loads all of the images ahead of time, so it works perfectly. You'll never have to change that. The forward scroll is set up for 4 thumbnails. If you need to add one, you just copy 4, paste it, and change every place it says 4 in here to 5. Back scroll, this is a little different. Because it's counting from 0 to 6, we have to use count minus 1 if we hit less than 0, so that it would go to image 6, counting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would actually be the 7th image. These count from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this is how you're swapping out from the large image. If you click on one of the smaller images, it will call the function 1 large, 2 large, 3 large, 4 large. Again, if you had a 5th thumbnail, you'd add a 5th function. And it makes the main image switch by whatever thumbnail is called, because those thumbnails have numbers associated with them. So we just pick the according things in the array. So if you're just copying and pasting my JavaScript and you set it up with 4 thumbnails, it doesn't matter how you lay it out as long as you name things correctly in the HTML. In the HTML, the important parts are the IDs if we're changing them. My ID for my main image is main. My ID for my title is title. My ID for my caption is caption. You can change those if you want, but you have to change it in both places. And then these are calling functions. The back arrow calls back scroll, the third arrow calls forward scroll, and then the thumbnails call 1 large, 2 large, 3 large, or 4 large. So you just need an on-click statement for each thing that you would click on. So you can copy, paste, and modify. And I want you to try this so that you know how to do it, because I don't want you to be intimidated by going in and modifying JavaScript. I want you to do it with real images, and I want you to do it so that you have 5 thumbnails, so that you actually have to copy and modify. So I want you to have it so you have 5 thumbnails. Total number of images can stay at 7, but I want you to have 5 thumbnails. Set up a layout. You can put the thumbnails top, bottom, side. This can be a real page for your project, but I want you to actually try this and then go in and make modifications. And I will definitely come around and help you. But make sure that you are putting in your correct IDs for each thing and that you're calling your JavaScript properly. If you have that in place, it should all work pretty seamlessly.